Back, and on this opening day our cameras were at Pittodrie for the match between Aberdeen and the cup holders Kilmarnock. Rob McLean's report in a moment after we see how close Brian O'Neill came to opening the scoring.
Jess and Miller share some thoughts about how this might go. There's the header off the bar. Brian O'Neill's header cannoning back off the crossbar. Brian O'Neill looks like he'll be a good signing for Aberdeen. He was the captain today with Jim Leighton injured and sitting watching the match in the stand. O'Neill formed a good combination at the back with Tony Kumbwari. Aberdeen looked very comfortable there, and there was threat obviously from O'Neill in the set pieces, as you saw from that piece of action. Aberdeen started very brightly with Ian Jess pulling the strings early on, although they were a bit disappointed that he faded as the first half wore on, and the game really faded as well, apart from a brief flurry just before half-time. In the second half, Kilmarnock brought on Pat Nevin to try to inject some invention into their attacking ploys. They also brought on their new French signing, Jérôme Vareille, and he almost became an instant hero when he rattled a shot off the Aberdeen crossbar. But the real hero today for Kilmarnock was Drago Lekovic, who made saves from the two Aberdeen substitutes, first from a flying header by Billy Dodds, which he dived to his right to stop, and then a left foot try from the edge of the box from David Rowson, which the Kilmarnock goalkeeper saved very well indeed. It ended in a goalless draw though. Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0. Yes, Rob, always disappointing to start the season with a goalless draw, I suppose, but watching it coming in, it seemed like a pretty entertaining game for all that. It was an entertaining game, Dougie, and I mentioned Ian Jess. He looks like he's going to be a very important player for Aberdeen this season. Aberdeen looked very accomplished. All they really lacked today was the cutting edge, and in Mike Newell up front, they have a more than useful performer. He's going to score goals, and he's also going to make goals, I think, for Dean Windass. Kilmarnock, it's maybe a day they want to forget. It really didn't happen for them, but after all, they've escaped with a point. Thanks very much indeed, Rob. Highlights, of course, sports scene match of the day tonight at 10:50. Now, Roy Aiken with Rob McLean. Good to hear the Pittodrie Seagulls are still in good voice as well. Aberdeen against Kilmarnock is our big match tonight. That's at 10:50, BBC Scotland on 1. Now, the performances of the day in the Coca-Cola United. Quickly back to Pittodrie, and it's now the turn of Kilmarnock manager Bobby Williamson, who's with Rob. Bobby, you'll be happy to take a point back from Aberdeen. How happy were you with the Kilmarnock performance?
Yeah, I'm delighted, Rob. It's a clean sheet. We've been working hard all week, and the defence and the midfield and keeping our shape and making sure they didn't get through us quite easily. Unfortunately, there was a few times they did get through, but Drago Lekovic done very well.
Was the main thing defending well today? Because you really, apart from hitting the bar, you didn't do too much of it in an attacking sense.
I feel when we're going forward, we've got good enough players to create things, but I feel we've just got to work hard on the defensive side of our game and keep things tight at the back and not conceding. As I said, I have no qualms when we're going forward. We've got good attacking players.
Has the Scottish Cup factor been difficult for you in terms of saying to the players, look, forget it, this is a new season, you can't keep thinking back to that, let's get on with it?
No, I don't think so. That's well behind us now. We enjoyed our time, and we're getting on with it now. And as I said, the lads know what it takes to win games now. They've been through it, they've been over the course, they've won the Scottish Cup, that's behind us. But we know how hard we've got to push ourselves during the games, and that's a pleasing thing.
Nice to see Pat Nevin on the park, and also nice to see the Frenchman Jérôme Vareille, who looked as if he's got a fair bit of pace and a fair bit of threat too.
Yeah, he seems to hit the target quite frequently, the lad. That's what impressed me when I seen him over in France, and he's very promising. He's got the pace, as you said, and hopefully he'll trouble defenders. So a point to start with. Well done, Bobby. Cheers.
Injury deprives Jim Leighton of the chance to play again for the Dons, but Ian Jess does return to the club where his career began, and Pat Nevin is back in Scottish football as a Kilmarnock player. Months ago, Aberdeen and Kilmarnock completed their league programme with a 1-all draw at Rugby Park. Today, the two launched the new season at Pittodrie. Killie, the proud holders of the Scottish Cup, Aberdeen determined to improve on last season's miserable home record. Taking over in the commentary box for us is Rob McLean.
Aberdeen kick off the domestic season without their new captain and keeper for the second time around, Jim Leighton. His hamstring injury means Derek Stilley plays in goal. Brian O'Neill, bought from Celtic for £750,000, makes his competitive Aberdeen debut and takes over the captaincy. Alan Shearer's former strike partner Mike Newell is up front alongside Dean Windass, to the exclusion of last season's top scorer Billy Dodds. There's a big welcome back for Ian Jess, sold to Coventry for more than £1.5 million and bought back for less than half the price. The Aberdeen playmaker has his eyes on winning back a Scotland place. Kilmarnock fans will have to wait a little while to see Scottish international winger Pat Nevin in the blue and white stripes. He's on the bench alongside other new signings Martin O'Neill and Jerome Vareille. But Martin Baker, bought from St Mirren during the summer, does make the starting lineup. And Ali Mitchell, who's on month-to-month contract, takes the place of injured winger Alex Burke. 36-year-old skipper Ray Montgomery is beginning a testimonial season with the Rugby Park club. 10 weeks ago, he proudly lifted the Tennant Scottish Cup. The referee at Pittodrie is John Rowbottom from Kirkcaldy. And a reluctant spectator this afternoon, the new Aberdeen skipper Jim Layton. Injury keeps him out. Aberdeen get the new league season underway against Kilmarnock. Both these flirted perilously with relegation at the tail end of last season. Both will be looking for a brighter start this time round. Flick on from Ali Mitchell, aimed at Jim McIntyre. Doing the covering is Tony Kumbwari. Mike Newell doing the chasing. Very physical player. He will pose problems for Ray Montgomery, but Newell penalised there for being a bit over-aggressive, a bit over-enthusiastic. A title winner with Blackburn 4 years ago. It's well won by Brian O'Neill. Findlay for Kilmarnock. First time from Paul Wright, but that was well read by Jimmy Buchan. Gets past Gus MacPherson, looking for some support. Ian Jess is alongside, and there he is. In from Zvetanov, that's Newell. And that's Mark Reilly. Reilly not 100% fit, but Kilmarnock desperate to have him at the heart of their midfield today. Here comes Russell Anderson. Joe Miller. First getting round Ali Mitchell, but not meeting the challenge of Martin Baker. Bernard taking a return from Jess. Kumbwari opening it out, shifting it left. It was Bagan. First time it was aimed at Windus, cut out by McGowne. Now Bernard has some room. Here's Jess. Great anticipation among the crowd. Struck it well, Ian Jess, but it never looked like hitting the target. But there was a real buzz went around Pittodrie. It was Windus who set him up, and he was always lining up for the shot at goal. And it was well read by Mike Newell. He's really going for everything at the moment. Time for Brian O'Neill. It's a lovely long ball, controlled by Bagan. Bernard in support. It's a pacey and lively start from Aberdeen. Anderson always keen to push forward. Ian Jess played it first time. Windus. Jess again. Trying to work the opening. Won't quite run for him. Back from Montgomery and away from Lekovic. Well read by the Yugoslavian international. And Ian Jess showing such an appetite for the game in the early stages. Looking pensive. Lots of time for Paul Wright to take the ball down. Here's Bagan. Gus MacPherson's outside him. There he is. Away from Brian O'Neill. Not the most dangerous of crosses. Zvetanov. Windus. Well tackled by Montgomery. Kevin McGowne. Nice first touch from Paul Wright. Here's McIntyre. Gus MacPherson still up in support. Bagan and Wright in the middle. Ali Mitchell's there too. Now Bagan. Useful chance. And to say David Bagan is disappointed, doesn't quite cover it. Ball played in by MacPherson. Cutting inside Zvetanov. It broke for Bagan. He should have done better with this. Here's Baker. Nice turn. Wins himself some space. That's aimed for Reilly. Might get a second chance too. Derek Stilley collects it. Almost the first real chance of the match for Kilmarnock. It was Martin Baker who played the ball in. And a slight slip there by Zvetanov. There's Pat Nevin hoping to see some action later. Nice first time pass from Windus. Mike Newell makes the run, and Montgomery covers it. And wins the throw off MacPherson. Bulgarian Zvetanov. His fellow countryman Kiriakov is on the road to recovery, we hear, after hepatitis. Zvetanov's cross, Joe Miller is there, and Martin Baker had to be decisive at the far post. Joe Miller's not the tallest, but he was lurking for this cross from Zenko Zvetanov. Behind it goes for the corner. Joe Miller takes it, Kumbwani is there, he leaves it. Paul Bernard! Cleared by Bagan, and offside against Aberdeen. Well, Billy Dodds, the way he played last season, might have expected a starting place after 24 goals, but the bench is as good as it gets at the moment. O'Neill keen to be involved in the build-up as well. Bagan, Jess, Windus, Jamie Bagan again, here's a chance. And it's saved by Lekovic. It's a disappointing effort that from Jamie Bagan. That was a real chance. Good positioning from the goalkeeper, but Bagan will feel he could have done a whole lot better than this. Bobby Williamson can't be happy with this. I'm sure he's looking for better distribution, better possession. Anderson trying to find a way past Paul Wright. Obstruction, it looks fairly accidental to be honest, but it's a free kick in an interesting position for Aberdeen. Wright and Reilly in the wall. Jess and Miller share some thoughts about how this might go. There's the header off the bar! Brian O'Neill's header cannoning back off the crossbar, and Aberdeen so close to scoring just a couple of minutes from half-time. Ian Jess's curling free kicks have been causing problems. He really does deliver them well. He puts a great spin on them, tempting Lekovic to come, then curling it away. And this was a powerful header from Brian O'Neill. So close to goal number one for Aberdeen. Doing his defensive duties now. Mitchell and Reilly, Baker. McIntyre is through here. This could be trouble for Aberdeen. McIntyre cuts it back. A cool head from Tony Kumbwani. Superb play from the Frenchman. And good play too from Jim McIntyre, sensing he could get there before Stilly. The game opening up now. Dean Windus is onside. What can he do? Good block by Lekovic. Chances coming thick and fast at the tail end of the first half. Here's Bernard. And saved by Drago Lekovic. Well, suddenly it's all happening. And that was a real opportunity through the middle for Windus. Tried to place it, Lekovic putting himself in just the right position. And the effort from Bernard well held. Jess finds Bagan. The half-time whistle might come too early for the Aberdeen fans. Here's Anderson. Can they strike? It's a hanging cross for Newell. Causes Lekovic problems. And away from McGowne. I think Lekovic looking for a free kick for the challenge by Newell. He's a big physical player. And Jess. Zvetanov. And that should be Lekovic. Not enough pace on the cross for the Aberdeen strikers. And that's half-time. And the last few minutes have certainly been entertaining. Aberdeen opened up in some style. Ian Jess running the show early on, looking very promising, very aggressive, very creative. And it was Aberdeen at the tail end of the half as well, who could well have scored the goal. But Lekovic and the crossbar stood in their way. Half-time at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0. Kilmarnock get the second half started. They'll be happy to have gone in at half-time 0-0. They survived a fair bit of Aberdeen pressure towards the end of that first half. He's got the sleeves rolled up, and I think he wants his players to do a bit of the same, Bobby Williamson. On from Bernard. Montgomery's header, taken on by Jess. The ball bottled up on the floor by Mark Reilly. But the free kick given against Ian Jess for the challenge from behind on Reilly before Reilly grabbed the ball. There was the barge into the back of Mark Reilly from Jess, and the decision looked about right. Reilly's header. Here's Bagan. Foot on the ball, and here's Gus MacPherson. This looks more interesting from Kilmarnock. Away from Bernard, and the push in the back from Mark Reilly. But it was a good clearing header anyway from Bernard. He was in the right place at the right time as Gus MacPherson played in the early ball. Good defensive qualities from Bernard. Windus has some time. Miller to Bernard. Windus. And he wins the free kick. Seemed like a late decision by John Rowbottom. Ray Montgomery's not too happy. There's the picture in the penalty box. Windus and Newell at the edge of it. Jamie Bagan on this near side. Bernard, Miller, Zvetanov, Anderson, all around. And it's the main man, Ian Jess, on the ball. He's been threatening almost every time he stood over a free kick. It's a lovely curling effort too, just a bit too high. He's looking very confident in these dead ball situations. This was curling and it was dipping, but it didn't quite dip early enough. And here comes the substitution the Kilmarnock fans have been waiting for. It's Pat Nevin, signed from Tranmere just yesterday, and he replaces David Bagan, who hasn't really made the impact he would have hoped for. And a big welcome from the Rugby Park faithful for Nevin. McIntyre's head. Tony Compani's boots seem to be high there. Jess plays it square. Zvetanov. Mike Newell wants it, and that's who it's aimed at. It's a good run by Newell too. This could be trouble for Kilmarnock. And Martin Baker handled that situation well. He's only 23, but he has a lot of experience with St Mirren. He's also played for Scotland under-21s. And just when Newell looked threatening here, Baker was happy to let that ball run through. McIntyre, Mitchell's on the outside, and Mark Reilly's in support as ever. Now Jim McIntyre has some room and some time. Mark Baker in support. No chances being taken by Russell Anderson. Past the midway stage in the second half as Martin Baker eyes up the throw-in. Well, Wright looking to inflict some damage on his old team. McIntyre, a head flick. Here's Nevin! Well, that could have been an amazing start to his Kilmarnock career. Not too far away from a goal-scoring chance at the far post. Eventually he was just too tight to the byline. It was held up well, cleverly by McIntyre, then the overhead kick, and Pat Nevin wasn't too far away at the far post. Meanwhile, Aberdeen make the change. It's Mike Newell who's practically run himself into the ground, and it's last season's top scorer Billy Dodds who gets a warm hand from the Aberdeen support. Pat Nevin. Vareille looks to have that under control, finds Bernard, Joe Miller, and Russell Anderson. Billy Dodds is up ahead, but Anderson being forced back the way. Joe Miller deserting the right flank and finding Zvetanov on the left. Now Bagan, Windus and Dodds in the middle. Windus and Dodds have started last season so well, lots of goals. Bagan wins the corner for Aberdeen. You can possibly see the family resemblance. His father, Martin Bagan, such a popular figure at Pittodrie in years gone by. Joe Miller with the corner kick on Wright. He was climbing high, but it was well seen by Lekovic. He finds Paul Wright. Wright does well. Gus MacPherson will have to motor and does so against Joe Miller. Again, took a touch off Windus, and Pat Nevin well beaten by Svetinov. Scrappy stuff. It's back with Kilmarnock again. Billy Findlay, Mitchell. Up ahead, Vareille, Wright and Nevin. Back onto the favoured right foot. There is Vareille with a chance! Aberdeen saved by the crossbar, and the Frenchman almost an instant hero. The Aberdeen defence not picking up Vareille. He made a great run, he was onside, and what a chance that was. Back off the crossbar. Reilly to Nevin. Chasing back was Windus. Did enough to put off Nevin, and Bagan took the ball. Jess is Rowson in the wide position. Anderson's with him. Now Jess again. Here is Russell Anderson. Aberdeen will try again with Jess, and Billy Dodds! What a chance that was. Great save by Lekovic. Billy Dodds might have directed the header better. I'm sure he'll feel that. But Lekovic did all that was asked of him and saved well. It was a good ball in from Jess, flying header from Dodds, and the save from Drago Lekovic. Frenchman against Frenchman. Combwani wins. Bernard looking for some movement up ahead. Dodds against McGowne. No frills from Kevin McGowne. Happy to win the ball and put it out. Jess, well, that's a good turn by Windus, and the free kick goes Windus' way, and John Rowbottom not happy either with the challenge from Ray Montgomery, in from behind on Windus. He wins the free kick, and another yellow card, and Montgomery's booked for that. Lekovic making sure that this wall is expert. They've placed him hammering home the point there to his defenders. Over the ball, Bagan and Jess and Windus. Aberdeen will want to make this count. Billy Dodds is in the wall, up ahead. Ian Jess looks favourite to strike it at the moment. Into the wall it goes, and Kilmarnock survive. Hammered away by Paul Wright. Not Ian Jess's best free kick of the match. Here's Bagan. That's aimed at Rowson. It's a high hanging ball which Martin Baker was able to get in the end of. Here's Jess. Montgomery cut that out. It was aimed at Windus. Bernard. Jess. Almost running again for Ian Jess. He tried the back heel looking for Rowson. Wright knocks it downfield again. Head flick from Rowson and from Windus. Nobody there for Aberdeen. Away from MacPherson. Paul Wright's header intercepted by Svetinov. Takes a return from Bernard. Plenty pace about Aberdeen at the moment. Here's Bagan with Dodds and Windus in the middle. Here's Billy Dodds. Charged down well by Montgomery. Anderson does well to keep possession. It's to Rowson. Shooting chance for David Rowson. And a fine save by Drago Lekovic. He really has been a hero for Kilmarnock in the last 5 minutes. First the save from the Dodds header, and then this save from David Rowson. He worked it onto his left foot. It was squeezing in at the post. Well saved. We've played 90 minutes into stoppage time, which John Rowbottom adds on. Well won by Rowson. Jess competing against Findlay. The pass from Dodds for Bagan. No support for him. It's 1 against 2. Nevin and MacPherson in front of him. Effectively leaves it for Pat Nevin. Findlay looking from Vareille. Brian O'Neill happy to turn it out for the throw. Doesn't want to make a mistake at this stage of the game. MacPherson for Wright and Vareille. Well, he's certainly ambitious. His pace took him away, won him some space, and just when Aberdeen were expecting the cross or the cutback, he just had a shot towards that far post. And that's the last action of the match at Pittodrie, and it finishes goalless, despite the best efforts of Aberdeen captain for the day, Brian O'Neill, whose header cannoned off the bar in the first half. And in the second half, the Kilmarnock substitute, the Frenchman, Jérôme Vareille, he had a shot against the bar as well. But the saviour, the real saviour for Kilmarnock this afternoon, against some good Aberdeen chances in the second half, Drago Lekovic. And in this league opener, it's finished Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0.
Happy all round, Rob, as you say. Defensively we done quite well, and I thought the back four played well, but not only the back four, we done well in all the areas of the field today.
Aberdeen looked like a fairly difficult combination to deal with their new signings, looking a strong side.
Yes, it looked not too bad at all, so they're doing because of a little bit of problems, you know, but we just had to soak up the pressure, and I felt that we done that pretty well.
Pat, were you disappointed not to be on from the start today?
No, I talked to the manager the other day, and it's been a mad few days, a mad 48 hours for us. Just about got enough sleep for one day out of the last three, so I was happy just to go on at some point and try and get used to the pace of it all. Most important point is the result for us today, and I suppose getting anything up here is always a good thing, you know.
What did you think of the quality of the game?
It was quite good actually. A lot of everyone talks about down south about the fact that it's just kick and rush up here, and that was nonsense. So a lot of decent play today. Everyone wanted to get down and play. I was impressed with a few Aberdeen players. Ian Jess, I think, had a nice comeback. But looking at the Kilmarnock team, I think worked very, very, very hard, and I think that's obviously the way it's going to be. If away from home, you need to work very hard to get anything.
Ian, how happy were you with your first game back in part two of your Aberdeen career?
Quite happy with my own performance and the team performance. I think the result was a bit disappointing, sort of being 0-0 with the chances we created, but it's a clean sheet, so we'll just have to sort of take the positive sides from the game.
The result probably didn't reflect the game, because Aberdeen looked pretty good, I would have said, apart from maybe the cutting edge.
Yep, I mean we played some nice football there. That's what we're going to be doing. We're playing entertaining football, and we created a lot of chances. Probably the most chances we've created in a game so far since the pre-season, and as I say, we'll take the positive side of things, that we haven't conceded a goal as well.
11 years now since Aberdeen lost the opening fixture of the season. Gordon, it's always disappointing to see the opening day, which everyone looks forward to so much, ending as a no-scoring draw, but as they go, this wasn't a bad one, was it?
Well, it was a good one. They brought me in here to watch the 90 minutes tonight, and I thought it was going to be pretty disappointing, but I can't say that at all. There was a lot of good football, chances at either end, mainly for Aberdeen, to be fair, but very entertaining, and as Pat Nevin said, a lot of good individual displays as well.
Yeah, as you say though, Aberdeen perhaps more disappointed with the point than Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I think they've got to be. They had the bulk of the play, especially in the final third. Aberdeen created the better chances, so having a home game as well, and you know, it's a big push this season, making an effort. This is one of the chances. A lovely touch from Windass there. Young Jamie Buchan through there. He lost his touch a little bit, but still fired in a good shot. Good save by Lekovic there. That was a good run from him coming in from the wide area. Free kick here swung in by Ian Jess. Look at Brian O'Neill there, tremendous header. That's what he does very well. He did it for Celtic, seen him do it before, he gets up well. I thought he had a terrific game too. O'Neill with the back, sprayed the ball about brilliantly for them. He's given them a real lift, somebody at the back who's can play the football. Yeah, they would go bursting through again, great run by Windass, gets through there, 1-on-1 with the keeper, decides to keep it down hard and low, good save with the keeper. I mean, people might criticise Dean Windass, but as you know, I've been saying since May 1983 that as long as you hit the target and the goalkeeper saves it, it's not your fault, you know. But,
what happened in May 18? No,
I can't remember it.
Don't
but that was a good effort. Good save by Lekovic, to be fair. It's a good ball here. Anderson was getting up, but Jess just flicked a little ball in there. Look at that to the box. Billy Dodds, a good header. Might have steered it towards the other post, but you can't take it away from the keeper. Look at Jess. He was playing a very prominent part at this stage of the game. Plays it in there. Billy Dodds just on, maybe a little bit too near him as well. Looking at it tonight, he'd be disappointed. Russell Anderson, who had a super game as well, knocks it back. Rowson fires in a good shot, but once again he's hit the target. you've got to say, apart from the one that hit the bar, Lekovic has done well. This one's coming through the legs. I think it's Reilly that goes through his legs, just the shot. But look at that, that's good handling.
That's right. When you see the chances put together like that, you say, well, how on earth did Aberdeen not win? But you have to put it down to very good goalkeeping.
Yeah, good goalkeeping. No clear-cut chances, though. I think that they weren't getting many, apart from Windas's effort there when he was right through on goal and a good save, the keeper. Kilmarnock in the main defended very well. I've got to say, Bobby Williamson's done a tremendous job on them, organising them. Killie were a team that were leaking a lot of goals last season, but as the season went on, you know, they tightened up brilliantly, ended up winning the cup, and they've started in good vein this season too.
Yeah. How would you see the season ahead for these two clubs, Gordon?
I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, it's very early days to be saying which one is going to be the better. I would expect Aberdeen with their squad to finish the better season and be challenging near the top. Kilmarnock, you know, same position, near the bottom maybe again this year, avoiding relegation, be successful. And Bobby Williamson's had no money to spend really. He's brought in some players, but to be fair, I think that both sides will be very hard to beat.
Kilmarnock really only had one real chance, didn't they? Yeah,
they did. I mean, apart from a shot from Bagan in the first half, this is a good one at the end up. Mitchell there playing it on. Aberdeen, very slack at the back for once here. Brian Neal not really watching his man, Vareille get in at the back there. Just on as a substitute, maybe a little bit, came a bit too early when he was just on. He drifted away from his marker. Maybe had the time to pull it down, decide the first time shot. A lot of power in it, but he would have liked to have kept that down. If he had kept it down, I don't think the keeper would have any chance.
Yeah. It's good to see Pat Nevin back in the Scottish game again, though, isn't it? Because he's always an entertaining player to watch, little Pat, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a tremendous player over the years. He's had a great career. He was only playing in lower division football in Scotland when he went down south, but he really made it big time down there. Good to see him back. He contributed a little bit to this game. Couldn't get fully in it. Needs a bit more sleep, as he mentioned there, maybe, I think, you know. He's a bit of growing strength there, but I think with his experience, Kilmarnock have got two great wingers in Bagan and Buck there, but a player like Pat Nevin has got an awful lot to offer. Coming in there, his experience, having played at the top level for so long, surely, you know, he'll play a fair number of games this year, and in the dressing room and on the training field, he might be a bigger influence.
OK, could be a very good buy for Bobby Williamson. Gordon, thanks for the moment.